A few years ago, I started getting this feeling that I am not in the right place, meaning that this life that I have with a husband and two kids, the life of a wife and a parent, and doing all the duties that come along with it, this is not for me. Because I started kind of fantasizing living the life of maybe not a monk, but living a life where I'm not in a family and I am just kind of serving in perhaps like a retreat center or it's in some sort of spiritual capacity, but being away from a family, like not having those responsibilities, but just doing like either spiritual discussions, reading, writing, being involved with other spiritually minded people, and doing something like that the whole day. And the more I the more I got triggered by things that my kids did or my husband did, I I just kept on believing this new thought that maybe this sort of married life, married and having kids and living this sort of life, I was not meant to have this life. I was meant to do, the other thing that I just described. So then I heard Ram Dass, who is another one of my favorite spiritual teachers. So I heard Ram Dass say this one thing that totally changed this desire for having a life different from what my current life was. And what this line from Ram Dass said is, there are no errors, meaning there are no errors in the divine plan. Everything that's happening is perfect. So that line made me realize that the life that I am in right now, the life of a wife, the life of a mother to two kids, as much as maybe my ego is right now thinking or wishing that I don't have this, and that's probably because of the conflicts or the arguments which inevitably happen when you live with other people, and it happens with your loved ones. I was just wanting to escape from them and thinking that if I just worked in a retreat center or an ashram or something like that, I'm just going to be surrounded with like-minded people and there's going to be no conflicts and it's going to be easy breezy. But that was just like a fantasy. That was just a story my mind was telling me to kind of help me escape from this life, which is a very real life with, with arguments, with conflicts. And I happen to be a conflict avoider. So perhaps that's why I was thinking that I don't want this sort of life. But as soon as I heard that line by Ram Dass, there are no errors, somehow it resonated with me. It made sense to me. And I think when we hear a spiritual teacher say something and it really resonates with us, I think that is not because the teacher said it, that's because a part of us, deep within, the inner wisdom in us already knows that to be the truth. But sometimes it just needs a second person, a spiritual teacher maybe, to say that and for us to kind of remember that truth that we always knew. So from that point onwards, I stopped dreaming of a different life where I didn't have to deal with family members and conflicts and arguments. And I realized that this is perfect for me. There is no error, my soul didn't make an error in choosing this life, this family life. There are no errors. Everything is planned perfectly for my soul to evolve. So I need to be with these individuals. I need to be running a family and dealing with all the chaos that comes with it, because that's what my soul needs to evolve in this lifetime. Those are the lessons that my soul needs to evolve in this incarnation. So another thing then that helped me to embrace my role as a mother and as a wife is that anytime I would feel that need to escape this life again, where there were days where it just felt like too much. And because I'm now dealing with a teenager and a preteen, so that's when, their hormones are going crazy. And as a result, they're also in their rebellious age. So the conflicts and the arguments with my kids were like, I guess, getting too much for me. So when I started having those thoughts again of, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why can't I just escape and do something else with spiritual, like-minded people, adults, not teenagers that I'm constantly butting heads with? Whenever I had those thoughts, something that gave me brought me back to center and gave me comfort is remembering the story of Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita. So Arjun is a warrior and he's in the battlefield and he is about to fight his cousins, his relatives, and his teachers. And he says to Krishna, who is an avatar of God, he says to him, he's perplexed. He's just saying that I cannot do this. How do you expect me to kill my brothers and my teachers on the other side of the battlefield? And he just does not want to do it. And then Krishna, God Krishna, says to him that this is your dharma. It doesn't matter if you feel like doing this or not, but this is just your dharma. So do it because you are a warrior, and as a warrior, your dharma is to fight in this battlefield. So do it without any attachment to the results. And so that story helps me because when there are days when I feel like I do not want to do this role of a mother, when I've had like a tough day with parenting, then I am reminded of the story with Arjun and his perplexity and not wanting to fight that battle. And then I remind myself that being a mother is my dharma. So even on the days where I absolutely do not feel like it, I'm going to do it because it's my dharma, because there are no errors in the plan. So if the divine plan has put me in this position of a mother, that means the divine wants me to do this role, even when it's hard, even when I do not feel like doing this, and even when I feel like just escaping. Just like Arjun was wanting to just escape the battlefield. So I just wanted to share that because in case you are in such a position where you feel that you shouldn't be in this life situation, but somewhere else, then I hope that me sharing my story can help give you some perspective. And it may or may not apply to you. Like maybe you do need to escape your life situation because I don't know what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to share some perspective and see if perhaps you can resonate with it. And let me know if you have felt this way, if you have felt like some error has happened and you were not meant to be where you are, and then how did you deal with it?